Have you ever argued with somebody in your head and then later end up in a situation where you're actually arguing with them? It's like you're kind of manifesting it. Because when all you can think about is arguments in your head, you'll somehow end up in situations where you are arguing with people. Now, why do you want to think about scenarios? Why do you want to make up certain things in your mind when you don't really enjoy these situations? I mean, who loves to argue? Do you wake up and are you excited to go today? Oh, I'm going to argue with this person. I'm going to prove all the things that they did wrong. I'm going to prove my point. I'm going to prove my point of view. I mean, are you really excited in doing certain things? Are you really excited in proving that you are right? Are you really, does arguing really turns you on? I mean, if it turns you on, that's completely fine. But most of the time, it doesn't turn you on. Arguing with somebody doesn't get you off, doesn't turn you on, doesn't make you feel good. So why do you want to argue? It's like when you create scenarios in your head which are not pleasant, you kind of manifest them. You end up manifesting situations and feelings, thoughts, and emotions that arise in your brain is somewhat kind of, if you're eventually expecting them to happen, if you're always creating scenarios in your brain about arguing with a certain person, and when you eventually meet that person, it's like it manifests. Because how can you even have a good time with somebody or expect them, to act nice to you when you imagine them being completely angry towards you, completely argumentative towards you, completely, against you? If you are expecting that to happen, guess what? That'll happen. It's like if you are expecting your partner to cheat on you, guess what? Your partner will cheat on you. If you are expecting to get hit by a bus while walking in the street, you will get hit by a bus. It is basically what you focus upon. If you always focus upon the negative, you will find more things to be negative about. If you always focus upon the positive, you'll find more things to be positive about. And a good example of this is, let's say you want to buy a red car. If you think about a red car in your brain and you walk out in the streets, you will start seeing more red cars. It's not like the, you know, manufacturing companies decided to let out more red cars in the street. No, it's just that you're focusing upon red cars, and now red cars are showing up in your reality. So basically, when you focus about arguing with somebody in your brain and you're creating all these scenarios, guess what? You'll kind of manifest that. Now, the reason why you create the scenarios is because there are situations that have happened in the past which put you in a situation where you were arguing with this person, and this person really pissed you off, person really messed up your life, and now you're not over that, and you feel like when you argue with this person, prove that your point is right, your point of view is better than their point of view, you are better than them. You just want to prove that you're right and they are wrong. And you feel by saying this to them, it'll make everything all right. Eventually, you'll feel much better. Basically, what you need is not to, argue with them. It's basically you need to get over this feeling. You need to get over the feeling of unworthiness. You need to get over that things off your chest because you feel like by saying it out loud to that person, it'll make you feel better. It's just a form of expression. So once you express these things that are there on the inside, these unresolved emotions, unresolved feelings, words, and thoughts, once you find a way to express them, you will eventually be over this. So how do you actually express them? Is by doing something creative or something passionate that you are actually passionate about. Something, it may be physical forms of expression like working out, going for a run, just boxing. I mean, not boxing people. I mean, don't box people. But also, can be creative self-expression such as, singing, writing a song, or if you're into artistic ventures such as painting, drawing, you can do that. But basically, just even talking it out to your friend, talking it out to certain people will also help you to actually let go of that emotion that is associated with this person. And this is not really a pleasant emotion. So it's basically you have unresolved issues regarding this person, and you feel this person has, or a couple of people have done wrong things to you. So now you're just making up arguments in your brain, thinking that next time you meet them, you're going to, just prove these points, bring out all these things that you're prepared for such a long time. And then when you prove these points to them and make them feel wrong and you feeling right, you feel that you will feel amazing. You feel that everything, all the problems in the world will just fade away and everything will be all right. That is what, that's the belief that is kind of connected to this. And that is why you start creating scenarios in your head, because deep down inside, you want to feel that you are right. You want to feel that you are smarter than them and they are wrong. They eventually made you feel bad, and you kind of are making up these arguments in order to prove. What if I told you you don't have to prove to them? It's basically you are relying your self worth on the words and the emotions that they put upon you. That is why you were even triggered in the first place. And this made you to start creating scenarios in your head where you're starting to argue with them, because you feel that whatever they pursue you of, whatever they think about you, is true. And your self worth, your self esteem, your self confidence, your self image is somehow linked to their perception of you. So all you have to do is destroy that connection of your self worth depending on them. Your self worth, your self image should not be dependent on anybody. It should not even be dependent on your loved ones. Just because your loved ones doesn't approve of you, you feel that you're not worthy of certain things. You feel that you're not that good of a person because you're depending on somebody else to feel good. You're depending on somebody else's approval, somebody else's opinion of you in order to believe in yourself, in order to actually feel whole, feel worthy. And just by, letting them decide who you are, if they say some things about you, you want to prove that this is not true. Yeah, you want to prove that they're wrong and you are right. And you feel that by doing so, you are getting back your self image, you're getting back the confidence. But what if I told you you don't have to do any of that? All you have to do is remove the attachment of your self worth on their words, on their perception of you, and bring it to yourself. You decide your self worth. It's not these other people. It's not even your family members. It's not even your parents. Just because your mom or your dad or your stepmom or your stepdad said something about you doesn't mean it is actually true. You should not depend on these people to make you feel whole. You are whole the way you are. You're worthy the way you are. Just because mom said something doesn't mean you're not worthy. Now, this comes only if you do the inner work by letting go of the past emotions, of these unresolved issues, the past situations where you felt unworthy, or other people made you feel unworthy in a given situation, and you basically gave in to their words, you basically gave in to whatever they were planning to do to you. And that is why you have such feelings of unworthiness when it comes to people making you feel unworthy. And then you start creating argumentative scenarios in your head in order to prove that you are right and they are wrong. And this basically ends up messing up your whole life, because every single day you're just creating scenarios in your brain. When you're creating not so pleasant scenarios in your brain, you're not really enjoying or living in the moment. And time passes by like this. And then all you are expecting are arguments in your life. And you'll eventually end up manifesting them and eventually start arguing with these people. And it's like your self worth, your self belief, and your self esteem is attached to their perception of you. And you don't have true self worth. So all you have to do is break all of that, detach from all of that. It doesn't matter what any of these people are saying, even if it's your family members, if it's your mom, your dad, nobody gives a fuck about them, all right? Stop giving a fuck about their words and opinions of you. It doesn't really matter. You believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, when you have 100% faith and hope in yourself, and if you stay in your state, none of their opinions matter. It's like when you have a solid mind here, no matter what they say, it doesn't really affect you. And when it doesn't affect you, when you do the inner work, let go of all these past situations that made you feel unworthy, and then you align yourself, bring back your self worth, raise your self worth, stay in state, control this. And no matter what other people are telling, it's just noise, static noise. You don't really give a shit about it because you respect you. You believe in you. You motivate you. You are the only person who completely believes in you no matter what. You love you irrespective of all your flaws. And when you have that, like locked down inside, guess what? No matter what anybody says, you are not going to react. And once you achieve this amazing self worth on the inside, you'll eventually start, seeing your external reality shift. It's like now you don't really expect any arguments to happen in the future. You're not really arguing with somebody in your head, and you are living in the moment. You're essentially enjoying life. Your self-worth and your self-image is not really attached to anyone's opinions or facts about you. You're whole on the inside, and of course you will experience certain triggers when you do the shift initially. Like you'll find people simply trying to trigger you because they are so used to get you reacting to their words. Because all this time, what has happened? They told something to you, told something, not so pleasant about you, and you started reacting emotionally. And this gave them power. That's the reason why they say certain things. That's the reason why they make you feel unworthy, because they know by saying these things, you will emotionally react. But when you do the inner work and you are in state and you have complete control of your emotions and your mind, guess what? They see that you're not really reacting, and they can feel that you don't give a single flying fuck about them. And this, triggers them more. This makes them feel so fucking uncomfortable that they'll try their level best to bring you back down to the state where you are emotionally reacting. And if you still stay in your state and you still don't really care about them because they're just static noise, they'll eventually leave because they're so offended on the inside. And they're like, no matter what I do, this person is not emotionally reacting, and they don't get that kick because previously, when they're triggering you, you were emotionally reacting, and it kind of made them feel good. I know it sounds really messed up, but this is the truth. So when you stop, creating the scenarios in the head by doing the inner work, letting go of the past trauma, and eventually staying on state, staying in alignment, and having this amazing self-control of your thoughts, your emotions, and your mind, you basically master reality. Because your reality is a reflection of your thoughts, your emotion, your emotional state, and your belief systems, and your vibration. So when you are completely thinking about things that actually, bring up good emotions, you are living in a very high vibrational state, and you're living in the moment. You're not thinking about all the wrong things in life. You're not thinking any negative thoughts. You're not feeling insane emotions of anger, shame, and guilt. But you're just living in the present moment. You're not creating all these, argumentative scenarios in your head. Guess what? Eventually, these people will fade away from your life because you are basically attracting your inner world outside. A very good example that I gave previously is if you want to buy a red car, you somehow see more red cars on the street. If you want to buy a yellow car, you'll find more yellow cars. Basically, if you are kind of manifesting whatever you are thinking. So if you're only thinking positive thoughts and positive scenarios, and if you're expecting things to always work out in your favor, if you're always thinking about things to magically happen to you and always work out in your favor, guess what? You'll end up manifesting. So it's in your hands. It's basically your power. You have absolute power of your thoughts. You may not have power over other people. You cannot control every possible scenario in your reality, okay? But you have the ability to control your thoughts. You cannot control the past, you cannot control the future, but you can control the present moment of how you are reacting to certain scenarios. But if you achieve this, it's a superpower. So hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.